Imagine you're Canelo Alvarez, the world's greatest boxer, seeking solitude in the dense forests of Durango, Mexico. The fire crackles, the stars shine, and the night feels perfect, until the woods grow silent and a shadow moves just beyond the trees. This isn't a fight you can punch your way out of. These are three true horror stories of Canelo's camping trip that turned into a nightmare. I'm Canelo Alvarez, and after my last fight, I needed to get away. The spotlight, the pressure, it gets heavy even for a champion. So I packed my gear, grabbed my dog, Max, and drove deep into the Sierra Madre Occidental, a rugged stretch of forest in Durango where my family used to camp when I was a kid. No paparazzi, no Wi-Fi, just me, a tent, in the wild. I found a clearing by a stream, set up my camp, and built a fire. The stars were brighter than any arena lights, and for the first time in months, I felt free. Max, my German shepherd, was sniffing around, chasing shadows as the fire crackled. The night was cool, maybe 50 degrees with a breeze rustling the pines. I cracked open a beer, leaned back on my sleeping bag, and let the forest hum, crickets, owls, the stream, wash over me. It was perfect, until it wasn't. Around midnight, Max froze, ears perked, staring into the trees. His low growl sent a chill down my spine. I sat up, grabbing my flashlight. "What is it, boy?" I whispered. The forest had gone dead silent. No crickets, no wind, nothing. I shone the light into the pines, expecting a deer or a coyote. The beam caught something, eyes reflective and low to the ground, maybe 50 feet away. Too big for a fox, too still for a deer. Max's growl turned into a bark, but the eyes didn't move. "Come on, Max, it's just an animal," I said, more to myself than him. I stood, clapping my hands to scare it off. The eyes blinked, then vanished. I waited, heart thumping, but the forest stayed quiet. I tossed another log on the fire, figuring it was nothing. Max settled down and I tried to laugh it off. I'm Canelo Alvarez, I thought. I've faced monsters in the ring. What's a pair of eyes in the woods? But then I heard it, a whisper, faint, like it came from the wind itself. "Canelo?" My name, clear as day, from somewhere beyond the firelight. I spun around, flashlight sweeping the trees. Nothing. Max was on his feet again, hackles raised. "Who's there?" I shouted, my voice echoing off the rocks. No answer, just that eerie silence. I gripped the machete I'd brought for chopping wood, its weight familiar, like a glove in the ring. The whisper came again, closer this time, from the opposite side of the camp. "Canelo, why are you here?" My blood ran cold. This wasn't a hiker or a prank. The voice was wrong, low, guttural, like it didn't belong to a human throat. Max lunged toward the sound, barking furiously, but I grabbed his collar. "Stay, boy," I hissed. I wasn't letting him run off into the dark. I doused the fire, hoping to hide, and crouched by my tent, machete in hand. The whispers kept coming, circling the camp, sometimes my name, sometimes words in a language I didn't know. Nahuatl, maybe, like the old stories my abuelita used to tell about spirits in the hills. I'm not a superstitious guy, but those stories felt real now. Hours passed, the whispers fading only when the sky lightened. I didn't sleep. Max stayed glued to my side, trembling. By dawn, the forest was normal again. Birds chirping, sunlight filtering through the pines. I checked the clearing for tracks, expecting boot prints or claw marks. Nothing. Not a single sign anything had been there. I wanted to pack up and leave, but I'm no quitter. This was my escape, and I wasn't letting some weird night ruin it. Besides, I thought, maybe it was just exhaustion, the beer, the altitude messing with me. I decided to stay. Big mistake. After that first night, I tried to shake it off. I'm Canelo Alvarez. Fear doesn't own me. I spent the day hiking with Max, fishing in the stream, and rebuilding the fire pit. The forest felt alive again, and I convinced myself the whispers were a fluke. Maybe I'd imagined it, hyped up from too many fights and not enough rest. Max seemed fine chasing squirrels, so I let it go. Night 2, I was determined to enjoy my trip. I grilled some fish I'd caught, cracked another beer, and played some old ranchera tunes on my portable speaker. The fire roared, and I felt like myself again. Max was chewing a stick, and the stars were out. Around 10 p.m., I noticed the air shift. Colder, heavier, like a storm was coming. The weather app on my satellite phone said clear skies, though, so I ignored it. Max started pacing, whining softly, his eyes fixed on the stream about 20 yards from camp. I followed his gaze, squinting into the dark. The stream sparkled under the moonlight, but something was off. A shape, tall, humanoid, standing in the water. Not waiting, just standing, perfectly still. My gut twisted. I grabbed my flashlight and machete, heart pounding. "Hey!" I yelled, shining the light. The figure didn't move. It was too far to make out details, but it was tall, maybe 7 feet, with long, thin limbs and a head that seemed wrong, like it was too big or misshapen. "Get out of here!" I shouted, stepping closer. Max growled but stayed by me. The figure turned, slow and deliberate, and I swear its eyes glowed. Not like an animal's, but like embers. It took a step toward the bank, and I froze. Its movements were jerky, unnatural, like a puppet on strings. I'm a fighter, but this wasn't something you could punch. I backed up, gripping the machete, and yelled again. It stopped, cocked its head, and then, poof, vanished. Not ran, not ducked. Just gone, like it melted into the air. I sprinted back to camp, Max right behind me. I threw more wood on the fire, making it blaze, and sat with my back to a boulder, machete across my lap. Max pressed against me, shaking. The forest was silent again, that same unnatural hush from the night before. I kept the flashlight on, sweeping it around, but saw nothing. Then from the stream, a splash, like something heavy hit the water. I didn't look. I wasn't about to play hero. The rest of the night, I stayed awake, every rustle making me jump. At one point, I heard footsteps, slow, deliberate, circling the camp. Not animal steps, but heavy, like boots. I called out, machete raised, but got no reply. The steps stopped just outside the firelight, and I felt eyes on me, like I was prey. Dawn broke, and the sounds faded. I checked the stream at first light. Nothing, no footprints, no broken reeds, just the water flowing like nothing happened. I should have left, but I'm stubborn. I told myself I'd faced worse. Opponents, injuries, death threats. I wasn't running from a shadow, so I stayed, determined to finish my trip. That was the dumbest thing I've ever done. By day 3, I was a wreck. No sleep, nerves shot, but I refused to quit. I'm Canelo Alvarez, damn it. I don't run. Max was skittish, barely eating, and I wasn't much better. I spent the day reinforcing camp, stacking rocks around the fire, sharpening my machete, even setting up a tripwire with fishing line and tin cans. If something was out there, I'd hear it coming. I told myself it was just a weird animal or my mind playing tricks. Deep down, I knew better. That night, I kept the fire low, hoping to avoid attention. Max stayed in the tent with me, his head on my chest. Around 1 a.m., the tripwire rattled, cans clinking like alarm bells. I bolted upright, machete in one hand, flashlight in the other. Max growled, low and fierce. I unzipped the tent, peering into the dark. The fire was just embers, but the moonlight showed something moving, a shape darting between the trees, too fast to track. "Who's there?" I yelled, stepping out. The air was freezing, my breath fogging. The shape stopped, maybe 30 feet away, half hidden by a pine. It was the figure from the stream, but closer now. Its body was wrong. Too thin, arms too long, head bulbous and hairless. Its skin looked gray, almost translucent, and those ember-like eyes locked onto me. I shone the flashlight, and it flinched, raising a clawed hand to shield its face. "Stay back!" I roared, swinging the machete. It let out a sound, not a scream, but a hiss like steam escaping a pipe. Max charged, barking, and the thing moved, fast, blurring toward the trees. I grabbed Max's collar, pulling him back. The thing didn't leave. It circled, weaving through the pines, hissing, its eyes never leaving me. I threw a rock, hoping to scare it, but it just dodged, unnaturally quick. I retreated to the tent, zipping it shut, and piled gear against the entrance. The hissing grew louder, joined by scratches on the tent fabric. Slow, deliberate, like it was toying with me. Max whimpered, and I held him tight, whispering, "We're okay, boy." But we weren't. The scratching stopped, and I thought it was over. Then the tent shook, like something massive slammed into it. The stakes ripped free, and the whole thing collapsed. I slashed through the fabric with the machete, crawling out with Max. The thing was there, standing on a boulder, staring down. It didn't attack, just watched, its head tilting like it was studying me. I screamed, charging with the machete, but it leaped, vanishing into the trees. I didn't wait. I grabbed my pack, Max's leash, and ran for my truck, a half-mile away. The forest came alive, branches snapping, hisses echoing, like a pack was closing in. I didn't look back. I made it to the truck, threw Max in, and peeled out, dirt flying. The rear view showed nothing, but I felt those eyes on me all the way down the mountain. Back in civilization, I checked into a hotel, locked the door, and didn't sleep for days. I've never gone back to those woods. I don't talk about it. People would think I'm crazy, but I know what I saw, and I know it's still out there, waiting. 3 nights in the Sierra Madre, and Canelo Alvarez faced something no championship belt could prepare him for. Was it a spirit from Mexican folklore? A predator unknown to science? Or something else entirely? If you've got your own forest camping horror story, send it to Last Nightmare. Subscribe, hit the bell, and sleep with the lights on. You never know what's watching from the trees.